Hey, Lacrosse families, Happy New Year and welcome to 2022. So, today's video presentation here is kind of helping us get ready for the winter clinics and a little bit in getting ready for the spring season. So, let's jump right into it. So, our schedule for the winter program. It's almost time to start. Today is Tuesday. Our our program starts on Sunday morning. Starting January 9th, it runs for 12 weeks and goes all the way through for 12 Sundays, ends on March 27th. It's a 4 hour time block, and depending on the age of your child, or if the child is watching this, make sure you come to the appropriate session. Obviously, I tried to set this up in a manner to help everybody out, all the coaches, all the parents who asked for specific times. This is what I was able to come up with. I'm sorry if I couldn't get everybody perfect, but this is what we got. So, real quick, 8 to 9 a.m. is the younger girls, 9 to 10 are the older girls, 10 to 11 are the older boys, and then finally finishing out with the younger boys from 11 to 12 p.m. Please try to arrive approximately 15 to 20 minutes early for each time session that you're going to be there. Just though because we only have an hour, we'd like to try to cram in as much practice time, as much training as we can within that hour. So if you can get there a few minutes early, make sure that your shoes are tied. Make sure you've got all your gear on, especially for the boys. It takes a little longer to put your gear on. And then especially for those newer players who might not even have gear yet and then need to borrow some gear from us. It does take a little time to go through and figure out which sets are going to work for you. We have all different size gloves and helmets and elbow pads and so on and so forth. So please get there a little early so we can set all that stuff up and we can jump right into practice each week. So the location of our practices are at Summit Fitness and Sports. So hopefully most people know where Dodd Stadium is up in Norwich. If you take that same road, like you're heading up to Norwich, to Norwich, up to Dodd Stadium, you'll be able to find Summit's Fitness and Sports. Now I put the map on the screen here because there are two entrances to Summit Fitness and Sports. There's the main entrances in the front. As you can see from the image, a lot of the cars in that image, they're going through the front door. They're going to work out. There's all the fitness equipment. On the side is a larger parking lot, and there is a side door with, you can see that blue arrow there. That is where we go into the gym, into the arena for our practices. So as far as gear is concerned for these practices, all gear is required for every session. Now, what does that include? That actually includes, for boys, it includes a helmet, shoulder pads, elbow pads, gloves, mouth guard, a stick, and a protective cup. And we'll talk about cleats in a second. For girls, that includes the goggles, a stick, and a mouth guard. Some girls will choose some kits. If you buy a new kit, will come with gloves. You can wear them. Usually they're much thinner. They're kind of like just like winter gloves rather than the full thick gloves that the boys wear. But gear is required for every session. A mouth guard, again, is absolutely required. If you're purchasing a new mouth guard, try to avoid getting the colors white and the colors red. White because it doesn't look like you have one in. Red because it makes it look like you might have blood in your mouth and they'll stop play for that purpose. So get a hot color, blue or green or whatever it may be for that reason. A water bottle is also a part of your required gear. Please bring a water bottle to every single practice. We do take water breaks. It does, over time, they are going to sweat. It does get a little hot in there as the day progresses. For the boys and goalies, so any of the girls who like to play goalie, this is something that that is required. Right now, we have older chest protectors. For anybody who wants to start out right now, this is fine. We have the chest protectors we have are fine, right? But if you're a new player and you're deciding or even returning player, if you're going to continue to play and play in the spring, you need to have a Noxie or a ND200 chest protector. Same thing, just different terminology they use for it. You'll see that logo that you see on the right hand side. That is on the chest protector. But again, right now, by U.S. lacrosse standard, it is January 1st is when we were supposed to have everybody's supposed to have a new chest protector. For these, if you're just trying out and you want to just see if lacrosse is for you, we have plenty of gear that you can try for now. But again, this is something to think about as you progress with this game. One thing I always like to bring up, and even from back in the day when I started playing, each player is responsible for their own gear. Okay? Your gloves, your helmet, your elbow pads. Don't forget them. Don't leave them behind. Uh, if you've been playing for me for a little while, you know that if you leave a piece of gear behind, you owe me push-ups because I check the field before we leave to make sure nothing was left there. And if you lose it, then you owe me push-ups for that piece of gear. You leave more than one, you're gonna owe me more. So one thing about they're responsible for their own gear. Obviously, if you're a younger player, 8U and 10U, and this goes for boys and girls, but for the boys, there's a lot more gear to put on. So parents, you may need to help out your child putting on the gear, especially if you're going to use the loaner gear. There's straps that you need to have for the helmet. You may need to be on the sideline to adjust those a little bit as we as we start out. Again, this is also why I would like, especially those newer players, to show up 15, 20 minutes early so they can go and try all that gear on and be ready to go. You 12U and 14U players, you should know how to put on your gear by now. You shouldn't need mom and dad's or your guardians, whoever you live with, whoever's help to put it on. You should be able to do it yourself as you get a little older in this game, okay? And just as a precaution, please include a mask in your bag, just in case any type of protocols change. If you want your child to wear a mask on the field, that's fine. They can wear a mask under the helmet or just with their goggles on for the girl side. Uh, it's up to you if they're So well, let me get into that now with the next part under COVID here in a second. Um, Summit Sports has removed the turf from their fields. It is now 3 basketball courts. So we do not need cleats. I repeat this, please do not show up with cleats on. Sneakers only for these sessions, okay? This was the best we can do right now through Summit. They were talking about potentially getting removable turf, but just for all intents and purposes, sneakers only. We can't let you play on the basketball courts if you have cleats on. It's just not safe. You'll fall. We don't want you to hurt yourself in that manner. So if you know anybody who is going to be doing this and they haven't watched this video, please let them know. I'm going to put this out 1,000 times over the next couple days here. Sneakers only for inside Summit when we get started in playing. For communication purposes, I like this app. I'm trying to stick with it. I feel like we've been doing a fall program here with a lot of the boy players, the older boys, and the Remind app seems to be working great for myself as the coach communicating to parents on the team, and it's very quick. They just send a quick, essentially, text back to me through the app if they have any questions and so on. So I'm going to open that up to everybody else that's doing this program. Right now, it's super easy to use. Again, for better communication between the coaches, our board members, the players, and the parents. Hopefully, getting a faster response rather than email back and forth over the course of a week. In order to join the group on Remind, this is the link, or you can go to Remind if you have the Remind app already. You can just search Norwich Lax. I'm also going to put a link to this group in our class, I guess, because it's Remind. It's more for schools, but it works for this as well. I'm going to put a link to our group in the description for this video. COVID protocols. As we all know in our area and across the state right now, the numbers are out of control. But as people are getting vaccinated, and however you want to look at it, inside of Summit Sports, this is their requirement, so we're kind of abiding by what they're doing. If you're unvaccinated, please wear a mask. That goes for anybody, I think it's under the age of 2 and up, that if you're unvaccinated, please wear a mask. If you still want to wear a mask, that's your prerogative. You can do that if you need to or want to. Um, and of course, it goes without saying that if you're feeling ill or you've been in contact with somebody who has tested positive, please just stay home. This is 12 weeks long. We don't want to have a whole group not show up because one person ended up positive and now everybody has to stay home, kind of thing. So just be cautious of that. Be a good team player and do the right thing when it comes to that. Okay. Uh, this again, as I said, will ensure a successful program for all 12 weeks and into the spring season as we go. And of course, this can change, right? If the numbers keep going up and things change within the state, they may change how we're allowed to do things and what we're required to do or not required to do in regards to masking up and everything. So, this is for the players themselves, boys and girls, every single one of you, grades 1 through 8. If a first grader can do it, so can my eighth graders. But I want to see everybody do this and start doing it now. It's today's Tuesday, right? We start on Sunday. So I want everybody to start every day, start getting that heart rate up every day. You don't have to play Fortnite and Apex and whatever other games you're playing on your phones and your tablets and your Xbox and PlayStations. Get out there and try to do these things. 50 jumping jacks, 20 push-ups. It doesn't all have to be at the exact same time, but try to do it. Parents, try to get your kids to get motivated to do that kind of stuff. If you have a stick, great. Then I'd like you to try to do some ground balls. Roll the ball out in front of you. Do it in the driveway. Do it in the grass. Do it in the basement. Just don't break anything. Don't let mom come yelling at me because you broke something. 50 ground balls. That means just roll the ball out in front of you, go down, scoop it up, drop it, roll it out in front, or roll it out in front of you, scoop it, and drop it again. Do the same thing. Try to do that 50 times. If you have to, do 25 with your left, 25 with your right. For you new players who don't have a stick yet, don't worry about it. Just stick to doing the jumping jacks and the push-ups for now. Again, for those older players, wall ball. If you can't don't use the side of your house so you don't break any siding, putting a hole in it because it is cold out right now. But see if you can find a brick wall over the next couple days and get out there and try to do some wall ball. Or if you've got a couple extra sticks, have a pass with a parent or brother or sister or anybody else that might be willing to have a pass with you. Um, Anything will help you get ready for the spring season because that's really what we're trying to do, right? Break the rust off, get us ready for that spring season. With that said, the spring season usually starts around April 1st whenever we get permits approved by the town of Norwich to start using the fields. That's about when we start. So that's where we end this program in March, the end of March, and we roll right into our practices for the spring. More information will be put out about that very soon. The registrations for spring season will be starting very soon. I have a couple more tweaks I need to make to our registration, and then it will go live. Same thing will apply to our uniforms. One thing to note, you cannot order a uniform until you've registered, so we make sure that your number, the number that we assign you, is what we have in the system before you order a uniform. So please make sure you register first and then give us a day, and then you can go and order the uniform. If you're new, you would want to order an entire uniform. If you're returning, there is an option to pick and choose pieces. Maybe you don't need a new top, but maybe you need new shorts, so on and so forth. We'll get into that later. Just want to let you know it's coming. It's right around the corner. It's only a couple months away before we start our spring season. So with that, more information will be distributed very soon. If you are in need of financial assistance, please reach out to us. I don't want to see anybody not play lacrosse because of, monetary issues, right? This game, I'm trying to expand this game to everybody, as many people as we can. It's an extremely fun game. But if you need financial assistance, please reach out to us through social media. I monitor it. A few of the other board members monitor our Facebook, our Instagram page. Um, and if you're at the practices and you see one of our board members, just pull them aside, talk to them about that real quick, or you can email us directly at either of those two websites, which again will be in the description for this video on YouTube. Volunteers. I say this all the time. We're starting to get a lot more people who want to help out, but we can always use the help. every task. There's so many tasks that we have. We need your help to get those tasks done so we can have a successful season. Please let us know if you or someone you know might be interested in helping us grow the game of lacrosse in Norwich, not just in Norwich, but Preston, Lisbon, Voluntown, Griswold, all the surrounding towns here. We all play for Norwich. And so it may not be in downtown Norwich, in the city itself, but any one of those surrounding towns. Again, they all play for for NYLA, and so we need your help to be able to spread the word through the schools and through everything else as well. That really helps. Um, as I said, it's more than just coaching, right? Whenever I say volunteers, most people immediately think, "Oh, I don't want to be a coach," but it's more than that. It's little things like painting the fields, things like that, that we need help with on, before our games in the spring, which is literally walking down you know, painting the lines on the field. That's it. Something as simple as that. It takes about a half an hour to do. And if you're holding back because you don't know the game or you don't know drills, well, you're not alone. There's a lot of parents who started out not knowing any of it. But we're here to help. I have plenty of drills. I have a whole document of fun drills that you can start at, especially at the younger age. They're drills that are designed for younger players, but you progress on that drill and you make it a little bit more challenging. Before you know it, you're doing that same drill with the oldest boys, the eighth graders. You started doing that drill when they were in, the 6 years old in first grade. You can do that same drill, but you modify it and just keep changing it and making it better and harder and faster as they get older. So again, I have a full list. I'm here to help. A couple of our coaches are really there to help. We've played lacrosse before, so we want to teach you too. So if that's something, if you're shy about it and you don't want to, let it be known that you don't know anything about lacrosse, it's okay. We want to help. With that said, if you have any questions, please reach out to us. I'll be glad to answer questions. I'm doing this video because I pretty much live in front of my computer for work as it is. So if you have any questions, I try to answer your questions in a very timely manner. Um, or you can use, if you want to do it through email, you can always use the Remind app as well, or through the social media site. So with that said, I want to say thank you, um, and I will see everybody on Sunday morning, starting at 8 a.m. with the youngest girls. All right. And then the older girls right after that, followed by the older boys, and then the youngest boys will end the day on Sunday morning on January 9th. All right. See you then. Thanks.